Mesquite has long been the enemy of ranchers who want more grass for their cattle and landowners working to provide an improved landscape for wildlife. Now, Corteva AgriScience has developed a powerful new tool to use in the fight to control mesquite and eventually other problem plants. It's called LANDVisor.
So LANDVisor is a decision support tool that uses sophisticated imagery and integrates data with personal experience from a personal consultant to help ranchers make better decisions. Most ranchers, most landowners know their land. They drive through it, they look at it, but they see it from the roads. What we're doing is giving them a little bit different perspective using imagery, satellite imagery, aerial imagery, other types of imagery, and bringing in the data behind that imagery to help them see their land from a different perspective and see parts of their land, parts of the information that is given them to help them make better decisions.
The cool thing with LANDVisor is that it is a decision support tool. So what this means is a cattleman that's been on the ranch for 5 generations or 5 days, he can learn something from it. So we can take sophisticated imagery, we can take a personal consultation and many ranch visits, and we can put together a specialized plan for the rancher. We can look at things from brush management to species that are important, whether he's ranching for wildlife. We can identify where his more productive grounds are, and we can create a plan that produces the biggest return on his investment for the spraying that he does with mesquite and some other species down the road.
Aimed first at mesquite, LANDVisor will ultimately be a tool land managers will be able to use against a variety of invasive species.
We're launching LANDVisor this year in the Southwest on mesquite, and there's a reason for that. If we can do mesquite, there's a lot of different things we can do with LANDVisor. The potential of LANDVisor is really endless. It's a technology that we can take into a lot of different areas. We do have plans for expansion of LANDVisor. We're going to be looking at different species in the coming years, prickly pear, and some other ones that we'll be looking at, as well as other industries in the U.S.
LANDVisor uses state-of-the-art digital technology teamed with one-on-one expertise from Corteva to give cattlemen and land managers a customized approach to reaching their goals, whether that's growing more grass or sculpting the landscape to benefit wildlife. Several Texas ranchers now have first-hand experience seeing the value LANDVisor can bring to their operations.
It was a game changer to me because I didn't know the soil samples, I didn't know the density, and I didn't know the potential that this ranch plot had at that time. And so looking at that program, and you could see on that deal the potential and the potential gain, that changed everything. That opened up my eyes to what I need to do to make this ranch a better ranch and to leave it better than I found it.
So LANDVisor came in and did some satellite images of the place. He really zeroed in on what areas will produce the most bang for our buck. And he helped us to see where the highest density of plants were.
LANDVisor is a very personal interaction. So this starts with communicating with a pasture specialist. We'll take a look at the land, we can create boundaries, and we can chart exactly what they're looking at. We can look through the data, we can find areas where productions can be better, and a lot of times a rancher will think it's somewhere that it's not. So therefore, this is uncovering a different layer that a rancher cannot tell from driving around in a pickup truck or walking through his mesquite.
Well, he took all the guesswork out for us. We didn't really know where to start, and he helped us to really pinpoint that. We could have invested a lot of money in some other areas and not realized it until several years down the road that it wasn't going to do anything for us. So we hope that we'll be able to run some more cows on the place. We're thinking that it may increase our carrying capacity by about 44%. And that's just one little area that we targeted, and that's going to increase the carrying capacity for the whole ranch by 44%. So those are some big numbers that we're excited about.
I'm not going to waste that money spraying someplace where it's not good soil and I'm not going to have that good grass. So right there, I'm saving money on that. Looking at where the better grass is and where I can improve that land, and then showing me how many more cattle on there, then I can budget everything I have out, and I can also maybe look into the future as to how much money I'll be making off that little bit of land, and what my cattle need to maybe make for that, so that the spraying is paid for by the cattle. And so it just really helps a lot.
Not only does LANDVisor give landowners the ability to target their investment where it will provide the greatest forage production, it also helps guide the timing of spraying.
What's unique about LANDVisor and the mesquite control of the future is that we're being able to monitor it pre, during, and post-treatment. So therefore the condition, the plant vigor, soil temperature, we can look at multiple different types of imagery to see this, and we have a database to understand where the sweet spot is to spray.
If we hadn't have used LANDVisor and I would have sprayed just thinking this is the time to spray, I wouldn't have got a kill and I would have wasted my money. And then I might have looked and said, well, that doesn't work and I don't know what they're talking about, but that's not the case. This lets you know when is the best time to do this and when you're going to get that kill.
It really is kind of industry breaking in terms of what we do with it from there, because we can actually come in then and do some post-treatment analysis as well. So we will come back in, we will look at it a year later, use that in the planning process for the next year. So it builds from one year to the next.
The more information you have about these plants and your land, you're better prepared to come up with a plan of attack against these mesquite and other plants that you want to get rid of. And without that, you're kind of guessing and you're going to waste money. And as a rancher, you don't want to do that.
In Texas, I'm Brian Baxter reporting for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
Now, if you'd like more information about the new LANDVisor tool that can help you make better, more profitable decisions to improve your forage, then just visit the website landvisor.corteva.us.